listeners, thanks for joining in. Welcome to another HRO Today educational podcast. In this series, we aim to provide you the latest workforce management approaches and best practices in HR. I'm Debbie Bolla, Vice President and Editorial Director of HRO Today magazine. Now more than ever, it's important for HR leaders to leverage engagement and retention strategies to keep and grow the talent they have. One proven approach is leadership coaching. Leadership coaching provides employees with specific feedback and the skills they need in order to hit business goals. Organizations also enjoy the additional benefits of filling talent pipelines, increasing productivity, and driving retention. And no one understands this better than Lori Mazan. Lori is the co-founder, president, and chief coaching officer for Sounding Board, the premier global leadership development enterprise platform, changing the face of leadership development through innovative technology for leaders at all levels of an organization. Lori is a seasoned executive coach who has guided hundreds of corporate executives through one-on-one coaching focused on business outcomes and developing critical leadership skills. Client companies advanced by Lori's expertise include Fortune titans such as Chevron and Sprint. Sounding Board is the first leadership coaching management system designed to bridge the leadership gap. It empowers organizations to build deep leadership expertise and to manage, measure, and scale leadership coaching programs with flexibility and ease of use. With virtual one-on-one and group coaching options, talent leaders can use its industry-leading coaching management platform to reduce administrative burden while developing leaders at scale. Thanks, Lori, for joining me today to share some of your insight. Most organizations are feeling the impact of today's talent shortage. How can leadership coaching help?
Hi, Debbie. Happy to be here, and I always love talking coaching and specifically leadership coaching. The Great Resignation is a big theme right now, and it's early to know exactly why it's all happening, but generally it seems like employees are not feeling valued. They don't feel like their companies are investing in them. They don't feel like their work is impactful. I think at a lot of levels they don't feel like their employers really care about them. So I think right now coaching is a super great opportunity for organizations to try to re-engage current employees and also fully engage new employees that come in. It's like a little triple whammy in a way, which is the participants get much more engaged. They have somebody who is supporting them specifically, and at the same time they're building their thinking and mindsets and skills to be more valuable for their current employer. And those skills and mindsets that they're developing also just helps them advance their career in general. So it's like valuable for the individual and it's valuable for the organization. And there's lots of ways to use coaching. One of the ways could be just even helping people navigate through things that are going on currently, all the disruption and change in the workplace, which allows those employees to be more productive, even with everything that's going on.
Great. And can you tell me some of its other benefits?
Yeah, sure. I think the benefits just really fall on two sides. So for the organization that's supporting the employee and the coaching, if it's specifically leadership coaching, one of the big benefits is just having an increased leadership bench. And this can really help with diversity and bringing a broad range of people into the leadership ranks, so the choices that an organization has for filling open roles is just greater and broader. We know that it increases promotability, it increases retention, engagement, employee satisfaction. It is a really deep way to increase upskilling, really up-leveling the leader's thinking and operating. It can ease transition, so a leader moving from one level to another level. And it's turned out to be very successful for new leaders transitioning into an organization and trying to adapt their leadership style to a new culture. It also has really great personal impact for folks. And obviously they're developing their own sets of capabilities and thinking, but it tends to really increase confidence and people's own sense of agency and power, so they feel more comfortable getting things done. It can improve a wide range of skill sets for the participant. At Sounding Board, we actually have a set of leadership capabilities that we coach for. So any of those things can be developed through the coaching. And because of the increased development, it also really enhances performance. One of the things that's always been the question over the years about training is, what's the actual level of application to the workplace? Coaching, because it's in the context of their work and in the moment, the application is dramatically increased. So behavioral change is visible to the individual as well as to their organization. And it can deeply increase their self-awareness, helping them understand more of their strengths and weaknesses, how they think about things, how their belief systems impacting their activity. And it can help them problem solve real-world business issues that they're facing on a daily basis.
And I'm curious to hear what type of feedback you receive from employees who experience leadership coaching.
I love hearing from the employees, and generally everyone loves coaching. At Sounding Board, we do a lot to make sure the coach and what we call the coachee, the participant, are a very good match, so it's valuable. But we hear the greatest stories, so I pulled out one that I wanted to share because I thought a lot of people could resonate around this, which is one participant said, "I've been trying to apply what I'm learning in coaching at work and at home. My husband thinks you're a genius," they said to the coach. So I love this because people get development that's applicable in a wide range of areas and can utilize it throughout their life. I would say generally people love the support. They love having someone who is only there for them. That coach doesn't have any other agenda except the individual who's in front of them and their growth and development. So you really don't get that these days. And that coach will also challenge the coachee, the participant, into thinking broader, into thinking in different ways. And because there's no status relationship or power relationship there, that can be very well received by the participant. They know the coach is just there championing them. And I think one of the big changes that's gone on in organizations, say, over the last 15, 20 years is that managers, no longer are only managing. They have to execute as well. And so they just aren't spending as much time with employees, mentoring them and helping them work through problems and helping them advance. So there's the coaching can kind of supplement that manager relationship, so the individual feels like they have this personal attention that they're craving that's really hard in the current structure for managers to give to every employee. And I think for the organization, some of these benefits are amazing too. So we've seen an increase of about 30% in internal promotions from organizations that are using Sounding Board coaching. So one of the big benefits of that for organizations is just that the time and cost savings around recruiting, onboarding, the whole learning curve that comes when you have new employees. And if companies are valuing internal development, then this is a way to really increase the ability to promote folks internally. I think from engagement side, we had a company who did an engagement survey, identified the lowest engaged team, gave that team coaching, and 6 months later in their next engagement survey, that team was the most highly engaged team in the company. Giving people this kind of support can increase their engagement. And then the third big impact is on retention. So we're early on that research, but what we've seen so far is that employees who were engaged in coaching remained at the company who provided the coaching for 1 year following the coaching engagement. We haven't done that research since the Great Resignation started, so we'll have to update that. But prior to that, it is indicating that coaching is also helpful as a retention tool.
Yes, both engagement and retainment are impressive ways to measure the success of leadership coaching. Are there any other metrics you'd like to mention?
Measuring coaching has been a big problem for the industry. I've been an executive coach for more than 20 years, and in the early years, there really was no measurement. Everything was kind of like behind closed doors. So it's only been really the last 10 years or so, the industry has been trying to measure the impact of coaching, and Sounding Board, we think that's really important because we want to be able to show the impact on the organization as well as the impact for the individual. So a couple of ways we do that, and no, we're always looking for deeper, more robust ways to show the impact of coaching. But right now, we use quite a bit of surveys. So the person participating would self-survey both impact of the coaching, but also their development on a scale of capabilities. And we also use more of a 360 approach. So we think it's not good enough for just the individual to feel like they grew. It also has to be visible outside of them. And so we ask their managers to also comment on their growth and development and rate them on a set of capabilities. And one of the big arguments for coaching is there can be a large increase in development in a short amount of time. So in 4 to 6 months of coaching, we've seen development on a set of capabilities anywhere between 18% and 67%. And I haven't seen any other kind of developmental tool that can create that level of development in that short amount of time. And I think over time we will have additional metrics. For example, we're adding into our process goal setting and then the impact of achieving those goals. What's the impact for the organization? What's the impact for the individual? How did achieving that goal increase the set of capabilities? Even what was the numerical impact for the organization, if it's translatable, or a percentage impact, for example, engagement on my own team if I'm a leader, or satisfaction with my leadership management style from my own team. So I think going forward, we'll be able to quantify something that originally was very intangible and hard to quantify.
Lori, that's great to hear because as any HR leader knows, the more metrics, the better. Until next time, listeners, I'm Debbie Bolla.